All right, Josh, you were digging into this new Google Gemini update, the 0605 version. The benchmarks look great. It's climbing the leaderboards. What's the real story?
The real story is that it's a classic case of Google optimizing for the wrong thing. They're chasing benchmarks, and the result is a product that's fundamentally more annoying to use. It's a world-class sycophant.
A sycophant. Unpack that for me. What does that even mean for an AI?
It means every other sentence is, "Wow, Ben, what a brilliant question," or "That's a fantastic insight you've had." They've engineered out any semblance of a direct, useful personality and replaced it with this fawning, obsequious character designed to make you feel smart so you'll give it a thumbs up in the ratings. The old, straightforward, slightly autistic vibe that was actually useful? Gone.
So you're saying winning on something like the LM Arena leaderboard, which is based on human preference, is actually a negative signal now? That to win, you have to create a bootlicker?
Exactly. It's a red flag. The model is smarter at flattering you, not necessarily at giving you the best, most direct answer. And this focus is a total distraction. While they're building this people pleaser, they're showing off these shiny demos like an AI that plays Pokemon. Cool, I guess, but it's a sideshow.
But is that really a problem? So it's a little friendlier. Don't most users want that?
No, because it gets in the way of utility, and it reveals their priorities are mess. Forget the personality for a second. The security is a joke. The prompt injection failure rate is insane, somewhere between 30 and 60% in some tests.
Wait, 30 to 60%? That's not a small vulnerability. That's a gaping hole. For a model they want to eventually plug into your email and your entire life, that's indefensible.
It's completely indefensible. They're so obsessed with PR and not embarrassing the company that their safety testing is about avoiding saying something politically incorrect, not about it leaking your entire inbox to a hacker who knows a simple trick.
So the thesis is Google is chasing vanity metrics and building cool but useless demos while the core product becomes more annoying and the security becomes a disaster.
Precisely. They delivered a model that's better at telling you how smart you are, but fundamentally less trustworthy and more irritating. It's optimizing for the demo and the benchmark score, not the user. It's peak big company behavior.
All right, so you sent me this link to some crazy intellectual cage match happening on Less Wrong. Break it down for me. What's the drama here?
It's fantastic. So some guy, Tall, wrote this massive high-effort takedown of these AI 2027 timeline models. And then another guy, Zvi, wrote a play-by-play analysis of the takedown. It's a masterclass in how this field actually argues.
So it's basically nerds fighting on the internet. What's the core of the fight?
The fight is on two levels. First, the vibe. Zvi gives Tall credit for the detailed work, but immediately calls him out for being a dick. The title of the critique was something like, "Why the AI 2027 model is bad." Zvi's point is that calling it bad isn't a good faith critique. It's a play to tank its reputation.
Hold on, that seems a little soft. If the model is bad, you should call it bad. Are we supposed to coddle these ideas?
No, but Zvi's point is that this public back and forth is the peer review. The field is moving too fast for anything else. So when people complained about the lack of formal review, he's like, this is the review. This is how it works. Don't posture like you're above it all when you're literally in the middle of it.
Okay, fair enough. So what's wrong with the actual models? What's the substance of the critique?
The substance is that the models are built on shaky ground. They use this concept of super exponential growth, the idea that progress is accelerating on itself because AI is helping with R&D. Tall shows that the models are brittle. You change one input slightly, and they spit out absurd results. They don't even fit past data that well. It's a house of cards, in his view.
So they're just extrapolating from a couple of data points and calling it a scientific model. That sounds like bad science.
Exactly Tall's point. But the craziest part is one of the methods. They build this complex model to get a number, and then the instructions are basically for the human forecasters to look at the number and then use their gut feeling instead.
Wait, what? That's insane. So what's the point of the model? You do all this math just to ignore it? That sounds like complete bullshit. I'm with Tall on this one.
I know, it sounds crazy, but Zvi's counterargument is basically, yeah, no shit, what did you expect? He says you can't hold AI forecasting to the standards of physics. These aren't meant to be perfect models of reality. They're intuition pumps. The point isn't to get a magic number, it's to force you to think through the variables. The fact that the forecasters use their own judgment isn't a flaw, it's the entire point. You use the model to inform your intuition, not replace it.
So it's a plans are worthless, but planning is everything kind of argument.
Precisely. And this is the real disagreement. It's philosophical. Tittetal thinks it's incredibly dangerous to rely on what he calls a shoddy toy model for the most important event in human history. He'd rather say, we don't know.
Which sounds reasonable.
But Zvi's comeback is that it's even more dangerous to have no model at all. You have to place your bets. You have to make a decision. And basing it on a transparent, if flawed model is a hell of a lot better than just, and I quote, vibing the damn thing. A flawed map is better than no map at all when you're heading towards a potential singularity.
So it's a choice between putting your faith in a rickety, jerry-rigged spreadsheet or just closing your eyes and praying. Classic tech. All right, Josh, you were looking at this new OpenAI thing, O3 Pro. Walk me through it. What's the bottom line here? Is it a game changer or just more hype?
The bottom line is it's a very weird niche product that's probably a head fake for the real news. So O3 Pro is basically the standard model, but you let it use a shit ton more compute. You give it a prompt, and it goes away to think for 15, maybe 25 minutes before it gives you an answer.
Hold on. 25 minutes? Who is that for? Your entire mental flow is gone. You can't use that for coding. You can't use it for a quick back and forth. That sounds completely impractical for 99% of people. It's dead on arrival.
For 99% of people, you're right. It's not a daily driver, but there's this 1%, the deep thinkers, who love it. Think of an academic or a strategist. They fire off a complex, multi-layered problem, go get a coffee, scroll Twitter, and come back to a brilliant, concise answer. It's not a chatbot. It's an asynchronous escalate this issue button for when other models are stumped.
Okay, I get the niche, but is it even that good? I saw some people saying it was still confidently wrong, and one benchmark showed it was actually worse than the regular O3 at using tools for agentic tasks. It seems like you wait 20 minutes for an answer that might still be mediocre.
That's the core tension. It's definitely smarter, but not by a mind-blowing margin. And the hallucination question is the big one. Some people, like Tyler Cowen, swear it hallucinates way less, but a formal benchmark showed basically zero improvement. My hunch is that you're just giving it better prompts because you know you have to wait, so the input quality is higher. You still have to treat it with total skepticism.
So let me get this straight. We have a product that's painfully slow, marginally smarter, might hallucinate slightly less, but there's no data to prove it, and is worse at certain key tasks. The one universally good thing I heard is that it's brief. It gives you the answer without the usual AI fluff.
Exactly. It's like a high-priced consultant, no wasted words. But honestly, Ben, I think O3 Pro is a distraction. The real bombshell, the thing that actually matters, is what they did on the same day.
Okay, what's the real story?
They cut the price of the regular O3 API by 80%. 80! That is the tectonic shift. That completely changes the economics for every single developer building AI applications. It makes building complex agents cheap. That's the real move to cement their platform dominance.
So the narrative is this fancy, slow, super brain model for the elite, but the real play is to aggressively commoditize the base layer for the masses. That makes way more sense.
Precisely. And it makes their other move look even worse. They didn't even release a new system card for this more powerful model. They just pointed to the old one. It's either incredibly sloppy or they just don't care about safety transparency. Pushing a more powerful model while cutting corners on safety is a really bad look.